Hello, this is Colleen with another Unreal Engine tutorial. This tutorial will be dealing with C++ and collision channels, also a simple health counter, and taking collision on and off. Alright, I have a twin stick shooter project, a C++ version. If you don't know how to do that, you can check out my first tutorial with C++ and connecting blueprints. I show you exactly how to do that. But alright, so what I will want to do first is actually create the collision channels. So I will go to Edit, Editor, Project Settings, excuse me, and Collision. Alright, there's already a projectile collision, but we're going to create two of, we'll just create two of them. First one, enemy. And the next one will be ally. Okay, so we got both of them. And I always like to save. Of course, I guess it doesn't matter right now. And the next thing we're going to where is it at? Oh, add code to project. And I will do a actor. And I will just call this enemy. And we're going to create class. Okay, now enemy is loaded. You should see the CPP file and the header file. If you don't see it, it's under your project, under games, and under source and your project folder, and should be right here. All right, we're going to go ahead and alter the header file. We're going to make this U class. And if you make it a U class, you have to hide the this function. Going to go in the CPP file and get this out of the way. Make this a constant. Initializer. And reference. And object initializer. Make it a super. Object initializer again. Right there. Alright, I think that's good. Go back to your header file. We're going to make a collision component and a mesh component, as well as a onHit function and a health variable. Okay, we're going to make this a under public uProperty. Make this a category equals, we'll just make mesh, and we'll make this a visible only, visible, oops, defaults only, and blueprints read only. Just like that. Okay, we're going to make this a uBox component, pointer, collision comp for component. Okay, this should work. There we go. Okay, make another uProperty. And we're going to make this visible anywhere. Blueprints. And we make this read only again. And category equals, I'll just do mesh again. And meta, we're going to allow private access. And we'll make this true. Oops. Okay, that should be good. Okay. And we're going to make this a static mesh component. and make this, we'll just say any main mesh. Okay, that should be good. Side mesh component, there you go. Okay, now we're going to override the onHit function that Unreal has. U function. Oops. There we go. There's the U function. And a void, and it's called onHit. And this is oops. onHit. There you go. And this is an a actor, pointer, other actor, and U primitive component. Other component. This is F vector, normal impulse. Make sure I spell everything right. Yep, okay. And constant F hit results. It's going to be a reference and hit. And that should be good. Okay, and the last thing, we're going to make an integer that's called health. Okay, everything should be good on there. Or not. Or not. Why isn't this working? The integer I is underdefined. This is weird. Okay, I think that works. I don't know what happened there, but okay. Okay, so we're going to make an onHit function, because you're going to get an error unless you make the function. So I just actually copy another function, except this is going to be onHit. We're just going to copy this onHit and all this other stuff and just put it right there. Take the super away. Okay, I think that's pretty much good. Or oh, this happened before. Yeah, take that off, and then everything should be good. Okay, I'm gonna build it, make sure everything's good before we continue. No. Okay, I see what I did wrong. This has to have an equal. There you go. Okay, everything should work fine now. Sometimes it takes a while, sometimes it's real quick. There we go. Okay, sounds good. So we got the header taken care of. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do is define our collisions. So we're going to go define collision enemy and collision channel, and this is going to be ECC game trace channel, and this would be channel 2. We're going to copy it. Let's make another one, except this is going to be ally. And this is going to be channel 3. Just like how I have it in the game, where you can see project settings, collision, and this be collision channel 1, 2, and 3. So we're using 2 and 3. And let's see. Oh. Just show you something. Or not. There we go. Wonder if it'll do it. No, it doesn't look like it. Huh. Well, anyway, it shows you a list of the trace channels, and it shows up to 18. So that you can do up to 18. But, yeah, this should work. I think just IntelliSense is just really slow right now. Well, okay. So, we're going to go ahead and set up our collision component. Collision. There we go. Collision component equals object initializer, and I'm going to create defaults sub-object. And what was it? It was a U-box. So U-box component, just like that. And this, and the text, we will call it collision comp, or call comp. I'll just call it call comp. It's easier. Okay, got that. Now the next thing we're going to do is set up the on hit. So collision comp and on component hit. Gonna on component hit right there. And we're gonna add dynamic. And we're gonna go this, and it's referenced to whatever, so it's a enemy. I'm gonna put a enemy because that's the class. So a enemy, because that's where the on hint is. And after that, on hit. So that right there. Everything should work out pretty good right there. This whole, you have to put this because this is telling, this is saying that this is connected to on hit. Like if you don't put this part right here, it won't connect to this function right here. So whatever you put in here, it won't matter because it won't connect. So that's why you put this line right here. So the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is the collision channels. So collision comp and body instance. Body instance, and yeah, just kind of waiting for IntelliSense because it's easier. Set. So we're going to go ahead and set collision profile name. Set, not get. And this right here has to be exactly how you, the name of the collision channel. So we put enemy and ally, and make sure that there's no capitals or anything like that. Okay, so enemy and ally. There's no capitals, all lowercase. So we're going to put this as enemy. And going to do body instance again. And set. Because this is going to be different. This is a set collision enabled. Enabled. I think, no, I didn't. Enabled? Okay. Wait for collision, the IntelliSense. Oh, okay. Ah, that's what I did wrong. You gotta keep capitals. Okay. So after that, then we're gonna be collision enabled, and we're gonna put query and physics, just like that. And this is gonna be true. Okay, that works. So this is right here, this is basically telling you that to put collision on, you could actually take this to no collision, to collision, to no collision. You could change this in runtime. Okay, so after that, we're going to select the, actually enter the collision profile, collision enemy, like that, right there. So I'll go ahead and copy that. So we're going to do collision comp. This is going to be set, oops, dang it, set collision. We're going to go ahead and, this is the set collision object type. And it's the collision enemy. That's the one I copied. So we want it to be a collision enemy, which is trace channel 2. Okay. Should work. You know what? I think there's something wrong with this. Oops. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. That's what it was. Okay. That's okay. EEC and channel 2. Now I just always, if I do something right, I just copy it, make sure everything else is right. Change that to 3. Okay, there we go. That works. That's what was wrong. The 0, it was 0 instead of O. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to block all channels. So, collision comp. And we're going to go ahead and set collision to all channels. And this is going to be collision response. So the response is, let me see, what is the response? E. I get these words mixed, these letters mixed up. ECR. And we're going to block all. Okay. I think should be good. Make sure there's no errors. Okay. Collision comp. And do this again, kind of. Set collision, and this is going to be to channel. So we're going to actually collision to collision response to channel. That's right. Okay, so right now we're going to tell it to ignore all enemies and block all allies. So I just copy this. Copying is safer for me, so I don't accidentally typo something. Okay, so for collision enemy, we're going to do the response again, and ECR, and we're going to ignore enemy. And this one's going to be block. We're going to block this one, because this is going to be ally. Make sure it's spelled correctly. Oh, I mess up a lot. So it's supposed to be ECR block. There we go. And yep, okay, everything's good. And we're gonna make this root component equals collision comp. Okay. Okay, that's good. And we're almost done. We're going to make the enemy mesh now. Gonna make enemy mesh equals, actually, create default subobject, and this is gonna be the static mesh component, and oops, not text. Okay, I'm gonna make this called enemy mesh. As I was saying in other videos, don't make these text the exact same because it's gonna give you a crash. Wait, what's going on with this? Oh, yeah. I already make enough mistakes. There we go. Okay. Enemy mesh. And we're going to go ahead and attach to. And we're going to just attach to, nothing else. Attach to, going to do a root component. There we go. And that's it for that. Okay, the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is, oh, actually, okay, we're going to put health actually in here too. Health equals, we'll just make it 10. Oops. There we go. Okay, we're going to go to on hit, and we're actually going to tell it to only take down health if it's a projectile. So if other, wait, yeah, okay, other actor. If the other actor is a, actually, oh yeah, I forgot. Let's hide this for a second. In order for this class to see another class, you have to put the header file of that other class into this header file or CPP file. Like, I'll show you. So we want to know what a projectile is. So we're gonna go ahead and copy this. Copied it from the projectile CPP file, but we want to take the test projectile header and place it underneath everything, all the other includes from enemy. So that way the enemy knows what a projectile is. And actually copy the name, not the .h though. And we're gonna put it back in on hit. Okay, so if other actor is A, and we always gotta put an A at the beginning, and copy the cold test projectile. So if it's a projectile, static class, static class, then I'm gonna do health, and this right here, health minus is it deducts 1 point. So every time a projectile hits it, it's going to deduct 1 point. So if health is less or equal to 0, we're going to destroy. So when health when the bullets hit the enemy 10 times, the enemy will be destroyed. So, okay, I think we got everything. Let me go ahead and build it and make sure everything works. Okay, now it's time to do the projectile. And it's pretty much the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and copy a lot of stuff from enemy. We're going to go ahead and define the enemy and ally. And put it right there. Everything should work out. And I'm going to cheat actually and copy everything from enemy as far as collision component collision stuff. And put it right here. And simply just take out the collision comp and switch it with projectile mesh. Should work just fine. Okay. But the only difference is instead of enemy, this is going to be an ally. So we basically need to switch things around when it comes to enemy and ally. So first thing we want to do is change this to ally. Also change this to ally. Oops. And we can keep these the same, except we just switch out the response. So we're going to block all enemies and ignore all allies. Okay, make sure everything's okay. Okay, I think it's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and build this, and I'll be right back. Okay, everything has loaded correctly, and the next thing to do is try it out. Okay, I have the twin stick shooter open. Just go to content, right click. I just do new folder, BP for blueprint. Right click blueprint class. Going to find our enemy class. There it is. Did I just call it enemy? Oops. Enemy. And here's our collision component. Our enemy mesh doesn't have anything because we haven't said what it is yet. I'll just make it a material sphere. Alright, right here it says block all dynamic. And I don't know why it automatically just has collision, but I definitely do not want any collision on this because it's going to ruin our tutorial, and you'll see why. So make sure there's no collision on the actual enemy mesh. And on this, it says world static even though we put it to enemy. Sometimes, I don't know, it's really finicky, but it doesn't really matter because it's going to override this anyway. And we're going to go ahead and save it. And we'll see what happens. I'm going to make this 3 size. Okay, here we go. Okay, there you go. And it disappeared. So what's happening is we set the health, the health variable to 10. So when 10 bullets hit it, it disappears. There you go. And that works. And so it shows that there is collision, but because the ship is not a projectile, it's not going to kill the sphere, which is exactly what we wanted. Okay, for an experiment, we're going to make the enemy an ally. So all the enemy stuff, we're going to switch to ally. Ally. We're going to switch these around. So we're going to ignore or block all enemies and ignore all allies. Okay, here we go. Okay. Uh-oh. It didn't work. Okay, I think I have an idea how to fix this. So I said collision, and the collision channels with C++ is kind of wonky. Not wonky, just finicky, I guess you could say. So let's try something out. I'm going to copy all the collision stuff into the begin play instead. Okay, let's see what happens. Yay, okay, it worked. Yay! So, yeah, just put all the collision stuff into begin play instead of the main function. I don't really know why it wouldn't work, but begin play seems to make it just fine. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and make everything enemy again. just to make sure that this will fix it again. Wait, okay, enemy. Okay, and we're going to do this the opposite way again. Back. Okay, and I highly doubt we need actually any of this in the main function. There we go. We'll just hide it. And make sure it's enemy, enemy, block. Block ally, ignore enemy. So, should go back to what it was before. Okay. Yep, there you go, and it disappears. Okay, I'll show you something else. So instead of collision enable query in physics, we'll change it to no collision. And build it again. Okay, and it should disappear. And so, yeah, so everything goes through it now because there's absolutely no collision at all. So, I mean, it's really useful. You can set it to collision and then not collision, then collision in runtime. And go ahead and change this back. Don't think I need this either. Got too many query in physics. Okay. And, dang, there's something else. I can't remember now. Oh, yeah, okay. So, everything's correct. Let me just build it one more time to make sure that taking this off. Like I said, it's really finicky on the order, and I don't know. It's just really weird. So it should work now. Okay, yep. Okay, but what I was gonna say, you really have to pay attention to these. It can be really confusing after a while. You got to make sure that each thing ignores and blocks the same things. So like, so if the ally ignores or blocks the enemy, I mean, you can't have like ignore ally, but that one says block enemy. Like, you'll see what happens. So you really have to double check these. Because what's probably going to happen is the ignore is going to overrun the block. Yeah, see? So even though my ally is supposedly blocking the enemy, it's going to ignore it because this is ignore. I think ignore is higher than block. So always make sure that these are correct. That both of them are going to block each other or both of them are going to ignore each other. Just to keep confusion out of the way. Make it more difficult. Yep. Everything works. Yay. Okay. It's a pretty long tutorial. But I hope I, made everything easy and you understand stuff. And the stuff is really hard to find. So I make myself have the headache so you guys don't have to. But yeah, that's it. And have a good day. And the kids are screaming at me. All right, bye. I actually forgot to show you something that I wanted to show you. So on the hit, right now, I mean, we had it as if the other actor is a projectile, then take away health. But you could simply put an exclamation point right here. So if it's not a projectile, then take away health. So it's like the opposite kind of thing. If it's anything but projectile, then take away health. And you could also do something like, oops. So you can also do or. So if this is a projectile, or if it's also something different, and you can put different classes on here. I mean, you can put upon, yeah, whatever other class that you want to take away health with. So, yeah. Okay. Have a good day or night. or whatever. And see you later.